Hi everyone, and welcome to Module 9, which is all about assessment strategies and brain-based learning. So there's lots of different aspects that we look at here, and hopefully you can find a lot of this very useful to you. We will introduce you to a lot of strategies to do with assessment and to do with making the most of your brain power, and we really urge you to test them out and see what works for you. So in the first part of the module, we look specifically at assessment, try to just demystify it a little bit, thinking about what it's for, how it can actually help you and your learning, the different types of assessment and how you can approach those different types of assessment to make the most of your learning. And then we look at the principles of brain-based learning. Amongst other things, we look at how the brain works. There's lots of really interesting research about the brain these days. We know a lot more about it. The good news is we know that it's a lot more plastic than we used to think, that it's never too late to learn, and that you can actually train your brain to work in certain ways, and you can expand your learning potential by doing so. So there's some really interesting articles and clips for you to have a look at here, and above all there's some really practical strategies that you can take away from this. So we look at things like the Mozart effect, which you may have heard of, the idea that certain types of music can really help us optimize our learning, the mind-body connection. We look at the idea of perhaps different kinds of learning happening in different parts of the brain. It's not nearly as simple as the right brain, left brain way of thinking that we used to subscribe to. Much more complicated than that, but still there is something to understanding the different types of thinking that we are all capable of, and how again we can use that in a really practical way to make the most of our learning. And we do take a good hard look at note taking in a different way from the way we looked at it before. This time it's all about how we can optimize our learning and our remembering of the things that we are actually taking notes about. So let's just take a quick look on Moodle, and as usual there's the online version of the study guide module there, but hopefully most of you are working through the hard copy study guide. That's always the place to start for each of your modules. Apart from the videos, there's a lot of additional resources here, and really it's up to you as to how much of this you dive into, but plenty there to look at, and it is all really interesting. I really urge you to take a look at this TED Talk by Joshua Farr, talking about how we can train our brains, and we can all make the most, or all memorize things a lot better than we think we can by training our brains. And it does tie in with the theory that the Cottrell talks about as well. So lots of really interesting things there for you to have a look at. We'd love to hear your thoughts about this particular module, so the discussion forum link is there. Tell us about your feelings about assessment, or perhaps you have other fun facts about the brain, but we'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course don't forget that at the end of this module you will be expected to go to Learning Portfolio B and fill out those the questions there that pertain to those relevant fill out the answers to those relevant questions. So you should be building this week by week, so that's not a big stress to you. So we are in week 9, which is pretty exciting. The end is actually in sight, so maybe it's still a little bit stressful because there's still a lot to do, but hang in there because the end is very much in sight. I really hope that you find Module 9 interesting, and that you have fun trying out some of these different strategies. All the best.